Started. Okay, I'm gonna call to order the regular meeting of the Public Safety Commission. Thursday, September the 10th, and it is 6:07, I believe. Okay, can I call for a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Lozano,
Here.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Meyerhoffen, Vice Chair Meyer,
Here.
Chair Eastman.
Here.
All right.
Can I look for is Commissioner Meyerhoff there?
He's absent today, Lee. For Kelsey, he called into Kelsey and advised he was not able to attend tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Martin, would you like to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay. Put your hands to your heart. I pledge allegiance to
To the flag
the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty
liberty
and justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Florence.
You're welcome.
Next, we have the approval of the agenda, which there wasn't much to approve. Is there anything on there at all? If not, we'll just call for a vote on the agenda.
I make a move to approve the agenda as it's presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Would you please give me a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Lozano,
Here.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Vice Chair Meyer,
Yes.
Chair Eastman.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, next we'll move on to the minutes from the last meeting, which was, I believe it was September the, what was it?
It's August.
August 13th. Yeah.
It was, anyway, can I get the approval of the minutes or any changes at all by the commissioners? If not so, we'll go ahead and move for a vote.
I've reviewed the minutes, Lee, and I make a motion to approve the minutes as written. There's one grammatical error or spelling error, but it's not a big deal.
I'll second the motion.
I missed that. I did get a second.
Yeah, Florence seconded.
Okay, so moved and seconded, so could I call for a vote, please?
Commissioner Lozano,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Vice Chair Meyer,
Yes, please.
Chair Eastman.
Yes. Okay, moving along. This is kind of a hard way to do this. Anyway, this public comments. At this time, pursuant to the Brown Act, any person may comment on matters of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Public Safety Commission, not as listed on the agenda. Under the Brown Act, the Public Safety Commission should not take action on or discuss matters raised during public comment portion of the agenda that are not listed on the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Speakers may not yield their time to others without consent of the chair. All comments are to be directed to the Public Safety Commission and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during the public comments. Please complete and submit a speaker card to the city clerk. You will be asked to state your name and city of residence for the record. Do we have anybody that would make public comments? Kelsey?
We do not.
Oh, nobody there? Okay. Okay, moving along, then we'll go to administrative reports. That looks, is a chief there? Chief Henson?
Stephanie's here.
Oh, it looks like it said here it says Jim Henson was going to do it. Okay, could I get the animal control report, please?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So for the month of August, we had 44 intakes. 10 of those were returned to owner, 17 of those were sent to a rescue, and 4 were sent to foster homes. We had 1 bite that was sent to CVAC, and again, that does not count against the city. Counts against the owner. We had 14 animals taken to the hospital. 8 were DOAs that we picked up on the side of the road. 5 were euthanized due to some of those that were picked up were their extreme medical conditions were not savable. We did 16 licenses, 0 admin sites, 17 warnings, and we had 152 calls for service this month. And no spays or neuters, unfortunately.
Is it 162 or 152?
152 calls.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Stephanie, I got a quick question. I think we're going to have a new family member here in about 6 to 7 weeks. So what's the cost, and just in case anyone's listening, what's the cost to register or get a dog license here in the city?
So in order to receive a dog license, you need updated rabies vaccination, a microchip, and a copy of their spay or neuter certificate. And then the license is $16. If you are a senior over 60, it's $10 a year.
Wow, that's really good. That's not a bad rate at all. Okay. All right.
And if they're not spayed or neutered, then it's $100 a year.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
No, that
That's
makes
a
sense.
lot.
So,
Any other questions for the animal control officer?
Yes, sir.
I
I'm
can't see the
good.
picture, so I don't know if anybody there.
Oh.
yeah, he's asking, does anyone else have any questions for Stephanie?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay,
Stephanie.
moving on then, let's go to item number 2 would be the fire department monthly report, which seems to be pretty extensive, man. That's huge. So I don't know if there's any questions on it. The fire chief is not on, I don't believe. So how do you guys want to handle that fire chief thing, the fire report? Just take as
Well-
it and make a recommendation.
Well, all right, we can only just look at the report.
Right.
I would just recommend we list it as received and filed.
That's about all we can do.
Yeah, looking at it,
Okay.
it looks to be the norm, but it does look like they had 421 medical calls, and so the medical calls are going up. So I'm not sure why that is. Obviously that question would have to go to the chief, but yeah, it looks like our medical calls are going up. So
It looks like the heat probably.
yeah, I don't know.
How many fires did we have?
It showed here that we had a total of 1 multifamily dwelling fire, then 17 other fires for 18,
Right.
then 2 vehicle fires, and 16 wildland fires.
Eesh.
So they ran 528 calls last month, it looks like. So,
Wow.
but
Well,
that's
they're
why-
doing a good job. They're dealing with it. They're doing
Yeah.
what they got to do.
I would just love to see us be able to get another rescue medical team for the station.
Yeah, we've still talked about trying to get that rescue unit. We'll keep working on that.
Yeah.
This thing over Zoom is, hopefully it'll come to a conclusion one of these days. When we can sit down and do business. This is kind of tough
Yeah, I hear
on
you.
everybody.
Well, when we get to commissioner comments, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you got it. So we'll just, we'll just receive and file the fire department monthly report. Okay, moving on, we've got the we got the fire department, or police department, sorry. Monthly report for the police department. Chief Henson, did he happen to be there?
Yeah, I'm here. Before we start on the stats will be handled by Deputy Chief Shaw. But before that, I got some answers from some of the questions you guys had. As far as McDonald's, the property, there's 3 different properties that are in the vicinity that we have to work out.
Yeah.
Bonds, Fargo, and McDonald's. They're all owned separately. They all have pieces of the parking lot. Code enforcement has reached out to them, and McDonald's and Vons are in the process of working something out where they'll have the lane coming in from Palm. They're going to put no stopping or do not block verbiage on the pavement there, sort of what goes on the other side near Starbucks. So hopefully that'll relieve it, but they're trying to talk and trying to work that out. So it's just an ongoing thing, but with 3 properties, it gets a little bit difficult, but they're working on it.
It is a mess. It's a mess. Walt, did you
Yeah.
work on
No, I didn't. I mean, obviously the chief has his people. That was a problem we had when I worked up in the Yoruba area, and we just had to get the property owners to work, because if they can do it on their own, it's always better than us trying to force them to. So
We'll keep working on that. We'll keep pushing for that, because it is a mess. I appreciate you looking into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, commissioners?
Well, I don't think he's done with his report yet, Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as the Palm Drive projects, they were asking about the lighting on Palm. Reached out to Daniel Perez, and he sent me the following email. Palm Drive street improvements from Camino Aventura to Two Bunch Palms, which is the construction of missing sidewalks, ADA ramps, new street lights, asphalt rehabilitation, new striping, new safety lights at the bus stops, and conduits for traffic signal synchronization. They are all complete. Palm Drive improvements from Two Bunch Palms to Pearson, construction of missing sidewalks, ADA ramps, new street lights, asphalt rehabilitation, new striping, new safety lights at bus stops, and conduits for traffic signal synchronization, all complete except for the installation of street lights. Street lights installation to begin in September 2020 and energizing October 2020. So they're just about done.
Very nice. Thank you, Chief. Yeah, it's just looking so much better. And I noticed the stands, and I think they got some of the lights in actually, north of Two Bunch. So it's looking really good. And I've had a couple people ask me about it. When's it going to get done? So I'll get that word out to those people.
Yeah, it should be all done by October of 2020.
Awesome.
Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Deputy
I
Chief
add
Shaw.
something to that.
Yes.
They also said that the street light's going to be changed to that different kind of a light bulb. What they call it, whatever.
LEDs?
Better. LEDs, yes. When they get all done, they're going to put LED lights and it'll look a lot brighter, nicer.
Okay.
So that's when they get finished putting them up. So that's good. It looks really great, and I think our staff did a great job on that. Public Works, whoever handles that, and Danny did a great job. It looks really fantastic. So I really appreciate it. I'm sure we all do, and it's moving along pretty good. Looking forward to another good project on the streets. Anybody got any questions for the police?
Well, we still have the stats, and I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Chief Shaw so he could go over the stats for last month.
All right, good evening, everybody. Hey,
Hello.
the police department, again, very busy in August, just like the fire department. Calls for service and officer initiated were 3,873 calls for the month of August. The officers are staying very proactive with 77 arrests during August and 175 citations. 144 of those citations are moving citations. And a lot of that effort has been focused on Palm Avenue, addressing both the vehicle and pedestrian violations that's been going on up and down Palm Avenue. In terms of the crime numbers, we did unfortunately have one homicide at the end of August. That case is still currently being investigated. Nothing more that I can share on that other than what already had gone out in the press release on that. But it was an adult male that suffered a gunshot wound and unfortunately died of those injuries. But although we did have that for the month of August, compared to August of 2019, our crime was down 23%. And from January through August 2019 compared to 2020, our crime is down 20%. So the officers continue to do a great job out there, reducing those crimes, making contacts, and being very proactive out on the streets there. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Yeah, Chief, I had a quick question. Are the jails still like doing like book and release? Is that, pretty much they're just, the guys are going, the arrestees are getting booked and then they're just getting kicked right away, or?
Yeah,
or-
it's really dependent upon the charge
Mhm.
and the seriousness of the crime. We can still book and the jail will take them. But depending on if it's a property crime, then more than likely they're going to be booked and released, or we're going to cite them from the station here and release them. But again, if it's a serious crime and there's some injuries involved, we can book and the jail will take them and take them into custody and book them.
Okay, and is that due to the COVID or is that just due to the new laws?
Yeah,
Hi.
a little bit of both COVID, and then the governor has been releasing a lot of the prison population. So because of that, those inmates that were in county jail that were supposed to be moved to prison population, they can't move them. So a lot of it is just the sheriff having to work with that overcrowding in the jail because of that.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Well, there you are. I see the same homeless people walking the streets. Do you stop and say, look, you can go here or there, or it's just the way it is? I mean, I've seen one guy for years and years, the same guy walking the streets. I mean, now he's hunched over and just messed up. I mean, what?
Yeah, there's been quite a few of it. A lot of homeless that have not only in Desert Hot Springs, but neighboring cities. We do have a homeless outreach team. We're working on building that team up. And we're also looking at working with Project Room Key to house some of our homeless here in the city, within hotels in the city here. So, but it is one of our main goals to get out there and continue to give them options and provide resources for them. Well, obviously, they need to want to take those resources and take advantage of them. But our goal is to make them available and easily accessible to them, so that they will take advantage of them, and hopefully at least get some of them off the street and into housing and in the treatment centers, whether it's a drug addiction or mental illness that they need.
Okay, so if he says to you, okay, I want to go to one of these cooling centers, do you take him? I mean, how do they get?
Yeah,
Oh, if he's, oh,
we'll set up and we'll get them transportation there, provide that for them, and assist them any way that we can. Yes, absolutely.
oh, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
There's one guy down, I was telling my wife the other day, because I saw him down by Palm and I-10. I would book him and handle him as homeless when I was working here in 86
Yeah.
and 80. So,
Amen. I know
Yeah.
this.
and I remember him because he would always fight. So, but now, unfortunately, the poor guy, he's at a point in his life where you can tell that he's in rough shape, the poor guy. But
I know.
That'll
Yeah.
be
Might
it.
be the same
Unfortunately, there's
guy. He used to be young.
yeah, that's been
There's
more
a
than 30
There's a
years.
small population, that's not going to want the assistance. That living on the street is what they want to do and stuff. And if that's what they want, then okay. But we certainly want to provide the opportunity and the resources
Right.
that wants them.
Well, that's good. I mean, you can just do what they want. That's all,
Yeah.
and if they want to live like that, it's just so sad because it's been so brutal out there, heat-wise. So, whatever.
It's a tough time, Donna. It's we just got to get through this virus. We'll get back to normal, hopefully. The homeless problem is something we have to work on, and we're going to discuss that eventually when we got to sit down live. So we'll work on that. Does anybody else have any question? I guess Florence, do you have anything?
The only thing I have to say, I don't have any question or anything, but I just want to give thanks to DHS Police Department for assisting in the removal of an abandoned vehicle illegally parked in the parking lot where I work. While the police department did not personally tow the vehicle, it did guide me through the process once they determined that the vehicle wasn't stolen or involved in a crime. So I went ahead and called the tow truck to remove it from our parking lot.
I'm sure they appreciate your thanks. Let me ask you a question. Are you guys all on pictures? Can you see each other?
We can see each other, and you guys
Yeah.
have dropped off, Lee, so I don't know what happened if you guys got
So I'm
disconnected.
kind of, when I hear voices, I can't, sometimes I can't figure out who it is. So it
Yeah.
sounds kind of confusing. But
Yeah.
in any case, I did want to mention to the chief that I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but your moving violations are way up. You got 144. I think you did mention that. So you guys are out there working, and you had a lot of traffic stops too. You got those up there, and I did see the motor officer out there working a couple times on Palm. So that's good. Do we still have just the one motor officer, or do we have two yet?
No, we still have one, and he's been in a car because of the heat, so he'll switch off depending on how hot it is. He's still working on Palm Drive, but sometimes he'll be in a vehicle, and then there's other times he'll be on the motor, just depending on the heat and wind.
Yeah, these last 2 days have been good days to work out there. I don't understand why I saw them.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I noticed that drive-through washing, that self-washing place over there that's been abandoned or whatever happened to it. It looks like they moved all the homeless people out of there and they taped that thing off. So you guys, somebody did a good job of getting that done. That's been a real mess there. I noticed that they've cleaned that up. And nobody's hanging out in those beds anymore, those bays where they used to wash their cars. So that was a good job. And I appreciate you guys taking care of that. And I think you got on top of the homeowner and made him take care of it, or the property owner. So you did a good job. And I appreciate that. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to the commissioner's reports. Can I just since I can't see everybody, can I start out with Walt? So want to give your report?
Yeah, the only thing I had is I mean, when we look at the agenda and we look at what's going on, I know we've got a couple projects, the homeless thing and the budget, and I know we're going to hold those until we can meet in person. And I was going to suggest to see if there's a way that we can just go ahead and put our meetings on hold until the city allows us to come back and meet in person. Because, I mean, just to put this meeting on tonight costs the city quite a bit of money. And I'm not sure that we're really accomplishing anything since, we're not getting into the budget issues and we're not having any public input right now. And I'm just wondering if maybe we should just go dark as a commission until we get to the point where we can start meeting again in person. So I don't know if that's something we can decide tonight or if that's something we have to agendize for next month and then talk about it then. So
we went through that before. Going dark. I don't know if we have to agendize it first, or we can take a vote on it tonight. We probably should have to agendize it. I don't know. It's I was confused the last time. I couldn't see why we can't just take a vote if we want to go dark and take a vote on it, and make a motion.
Yeah, if Gerald is still there, maybe Gerald could look it up for us real quick and let us know. Give us a city clerk opinion there.
So maybe he can do that to us and let us know best way to handle that. Because I agree with you, we're not getting a whole lot done this way, and it's kind of a shame. But that's life. That's the way it goes. Yeah,
and I hate tying up city staff. They got plenty to do. They don't need to be taking care of us. So they got more important things. I did notice that I was watching the city council, and they looked like they were trying to break into City Hall. They had their meeting there, so they're testing it out. It looks like maybe they'll be trying to open it up. Maybe next month we'll get to City Hall. Okay. I don't see why we couldn't do that. We don't need anybody in the public area, but we can still have our meeting up there. I don't see why we can't do that. They did it. I don't see why we couldn't do it. But that's another story.
I have an answer for that. That's a city council and city manager decision. The only meetings that they're going to have in the council chambers is.
It's just a statement. I just put it out there for, for.
Yeah,
just
hang
for
on a
talk.
second, Lee. The chief's got an answer for you.
Okay, the city council and city manager, I have made the decision that the city council is the only one meeting at this time. The commissions will still be by Zoom.
Okay. There we
And
go.
it's possible that October, November, we may be back to live.
Well, that'd be nice, but we'll just do the best we can. We'll work with what we got.
Okay. Hey, Lee,
Hopefully I
just
can figure out how to get this thing on.
yeah, Lee, just to let you know, Gerald is back up on the screen, so I think he may have an answer for us.
Okay.
So because it's not on the agenda, I think what I would suggest is not do a formal motion, but maybe that just have the minutes reflect that during discussion, it was unanimously agreed to go dark until further notice.
Good idea.
And how
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that? I mean,
I'm
it's just an
fine.
idea. If you're not good with it, I understand. I'm good, but I just thought it would save the city some money and put us out there until we're ready to really get back into getting some work done. So,
I'm good
Well,
with it.
Donna agrees.
okay,
I do too.
all right. Lee,
Florence agrees.
how do you feel about it, Lee?
Well, yeah, I agree till we can get to City Hall. I think we should do it. Go dark. Hopefully we'll, like I say, maybe we can get there next month. I don't know.
Yeah, and if we do, that'd be great. I mean, I'm the first one there, but until then, I just kind of, like I said, staff's got more important things to do, and save a few $100 every month, for the city budget, and, but so okay. Well, if Kelsey, if you can just put that in the minutes that during my thing we all agreed. Thank you, and I'm done. So move on.
Okay. Commissioner Martin, do you have anything to say for your closing statements?
Who?
No, I don't have anything to report.
Hey, Donna Lozano, how about you, my dear?
Well, I agree. My thing was about the homeless people, so I'm good, and I agree with Walt about the going dark and whatever. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't like the idea, but I agree with it. I mean, I'm saying that the wrong way, but I mean, I wish we didn't have to do that. I think that's the right thing to do. How's that? Does that sound better?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that, Lee, and I know that the chief and Kelsey, they're holding on to a homeless presentation for us. They're holding on to a budget presentation for us, and I agree with them. Trying to do those presentations in depth over Zoom it's not and plus, if the public wants to be there, if they see it on there and they're interested, it would be great to be able to do it where the public is actually sitting there and can actually participate. So,
Right.
So
Makes sense.
mhm.
Okay.
I don't think we'll.
Right.
I don't even think we'll.
Questions?
Well, go ahead, Don. I think Donna had something for you, Lee.
Oh no, I was just saying I don't think we'll get any outside participation because of this Zoom. It's very difficult, and not everybody has a doggone PC or knows how to do this, or phone, So I don't think we're helping the citizens if they don't have anything to say either this way. That's all.
Yeah, and I find with Zoom, there's always technical difficulties. There's always, I mean, even with Russ, he has Zoom meeting all day, and I see all the problems that they have. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I teach a college course one night a week, and I have 30 students on Zoom. Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I didn't get the beginning. Ted, how's come he couldn't make the meeting? Did he call in or say why he couldn't make it? Very often?
he spoke to Kelsey, so I don't know.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Kelsey reported that he couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Kelsey.
he's having some personal issues that he said that he had to take care of that took priority.
Okay.
Well, I actually said what I had to say about the things I was worried about. I just want to thank you guys for putting up with me and putting up with this Zoom thing. And you guys have been very patient, and all of us, the whole city, the whole country, I guess, is fighting this virus. So it hasn't been fun. And I can't, I'm a novice at this Zoom. Now, I had it last time, I had it fine. This time I can't get it up, so I don't know what the story is. But anyway, let's, what are we gonna do now? We're gonna hold off. Did we decide yet? We're not gonna have a meeting till they let us know, right?
Yeah, I think what Kelsey's going to do, she's going to put in the minutes that we agreed to go dark until we can meet again in person. And
Correct.
if there's a problem with that, Gerald's going to look into that. If that's a problem and we cannot do that, then we'll get a notification from the city saying that, no, we have to agendize it. You know what, while we're here, would somebody be willing to second that if it needed to be agendized for a meeting next month?
I'll second it.
I'll second that.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so
We
we'll,
both second it.
well, I'll just step out and let y'all first
So
it
we're
too.
gonna, in case we have a meeting, I got you. All right,
Okay, all right,
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
good deal.
Let's go with that.
Okay,
Okay, everybody, it's been great talking to you. But all I can say, stay healthy. Don't get any viruses till next time. And I'll see you when I see you. I'm going to close the meeting. Okay.
all right.
Okay.
All right, good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Meeting's
Good
adjourned.
night, everybody. Nice to see ya.
Nice seeing you, Donna.
Nice to be
Nice
ya.
See you, Florida. See you, Kelsey. Bye, Daryl. Thanks.
All right.
Stephanie.